quiet. Hello everybody and welcome to Free Range Diva, where you will find helpful information to enhance your beauty and wellness routines. I'm Cheryl and today I have got what I hope is going to be a fun video for you. It's going to be all about those magical medicinal mushrooms. Now you might think, why should I care about mushrooms? They're just mushrooms. But mushrooms have been studied for treatment and prevention of cognitive issues like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, high blood pressure, cancer, and immune support. So if you are dealing with any of those, or you just want to prevent any of that from happening to you, then you're going to want to stay tuned. So let's jump into it. Before we start, I wanted to show you a quick picture that a viewer sent me of her beautiful daffodils. She put them in this cobalt blue colored vase, and they are absolutely stunning. So for those of you that are still dealing with storms and snow and all that stuff, maybe you'll get a lift out of that picture because I think they're just adorably cute. Also, I'm joined by some of my ranunculus. My ranunculus are in bloom right now. So that's what's sitting there. That's what's sitting right here next to me. Mushrooms have been consumed since our earliest history. The ancient Greeks believed that mushrooms provided strength for warriors in battle. The Romans thought of them as foods of the gods. And for centuries, the Chinese culture considered mushrooms to be a health food, literally what they called an elixir of life. They have been part of human culture for thousands of years and achieved prominence in the most important civilizations in history because of their sensory characteristics and culinary attributes. Basically, they add a savory umami flavor to foods. Today, we love them because they're low in calories and carbohydrates. They've got lots of healthy fat and protein. And also they are cholesterol free. Besides, mushrooms provide important nutrients like selenium, potassium, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin D, proteins, and fiber. But mushrooms are also valued in traditional medicine because of their healing properties, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The abundance of nutraceutical properties that are in mushrooms have been studied for the prevention or treatment of Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, hypertension, and stroke, particularly in people who are at a high risk of stroke. They also have anti-tumor properties that have been used in the prevention of the growth of cancer cells. So everything I'm going to talk about today, if you hear, by the way, the sound of trucks and things, the city is ripping up our street, and this was not supposed to happen until next week. I don't know why they're here now, but I'm trying to work around this. So this video may be choppy as I stop it when the noise gets too loud. I am not a medical professional. However, I got most of my information from an article from the National Institutes of Health that I will link below. It was kind of a summation of studies and what they know so far as how mushrooms work in the body. It's a fascinating read. I will link it and I encourage you to check it out, especially if you're kind of intrigued by this subject. By the way, I'm not a medical professional. I am just providing information here that can be used for you to take to your doctor or your medical professional that you will always want to consult before you do anything regarding changing your diet or taking any advice or information that you hear from influencers on the internet. So what we've learned so far is that mushrooms act as an antibacterial and an immune system enhancer, and it has cholesterol lowering properties. So as a result of these properties, some mushroom extracts are being used to promote wellness and improved health by supplementation. These varieties are what we call medicinal mushrooms, and that's what we're going to talk about today. More than 100 medical functions are produced by mushrooms, and they are primarily utilized for antioxidants, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, anti-allergenic, immunomodulating, cardiovascular protecting. They modulate cholesterol. They're antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic, antifungal. Oh, and they also have detoxification and liver protective effects. Whew. Mushrooms and fungi and their molecular components are also very bioactive. They get into the body and they do stuff. So they are an ideal addition to a balanced diet. They've got proteins, fats, and antioxidants. Now, these bioactive substances can vary depending on things like the strain, the substrate, cultivation, the development stage at which they were harvested, the age, storage conditions, processing, and cooking practices. Their main molecular component is polysaccharides, also known as carbohydrates like starches, sugars. But anti-tumor polysaccharides have been isolated from mushrooms, and they were found to activate the immune response of the host organism. In other words, mushroom polysaccharides don't directly kill tumor cells. They help the body to kill tumor cells. Beta-glucans are the main polysaccharide or carbohydrate found in mushrooms. These beta-glucans are responsible for the anti-cancer, immune modulating, cholesterol modulating, antioxidant, and brain protective activities of edible mushrooms. They protect from infectious diseases and can help with patients recovering from chemotherapy or radiotherapy. These compounds are also beneficial to middle-aged people like us, or people with active and stressful lifestyles, and athletes. The mushrooms that you find in your local grocery store, like the agaricus or what we call button mushrooms, shiitakes, we're not going to be talking about those too much today, because what I want to tell you about are the types of mushrooms that you can buy in supplements. These are that have been concentrated either by being dried or extracted, and are used more as medicinal agents. So reishi is going to be the first one. This is the one that I have the most experience with. Reishi has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years to improve health and longevity. It's also been used in the treatment of neurasthenia, hypertension, liver disease, and cancer. It's one of the most popular medicinal mushrooms. Probably you've heard of it. It's popular in China, Japan, Korea, and here in the US. And it's been under modern biochemical and pharmacological research for the last several decades. I use this regularly to keep my immune system healthy and strong, to calm allergic reactions, but most importantly, I use it as an anti-inflammatory for hormone balancing, basically to calm the stress response and to help with sleep. It is known as the mushroom of immortality and the queen of mushrooms. The next mushroom I want to talk about is called cordyceps, or Cordyceps sinensis. This is known for giving you energy, increased oxygen utilization, and ATP production, which is how the body basically gives you that pep and get up and go. So it increases energy and athletic performance. It also helps with the stabilization of blood sugar metabolism, as well as calming the nervous system. Chaga is the next mushroom on my list. Chaga is another immune modulator and a rich source of antioxidants. For example, a single cup of strong chaga tea has the same amount of antioxidants as 30 pounds of carrots. Consider chaga if you're someone who travels a lot or exposed to a lot of germs. And also, which perked me up, the antioxidants in chaga can give you thicker hair and a glowing complexion. Lion's mane, next, has many properties similar to the others, but its superpower is the impact it has on the brain and brain health. It is believed to regenerate neurons by stimulating or increasing something called the nerve growth factor. These nerve growth factors have been observed to be lower in people with depression and other mood disorders. It protects the nerves and therefore can mitigate and possibly reverse dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. It can potentially reverse cognitive decline that occurs with age, and it has no known side effects, unlike pharmaceutical medications that are used for cognitive function. There have been many studies showing varying levels of cognitive improvement, depending on the amount and how long you take it. What seems to be consistent is that once you go off it, the cognitive decline reoccurs. So if you're having memory issues, for example, if you take it for like, say, 6 months and your memory's doing great and you stop, you'll start to have that decline happen again. The last mushroom that I want to talk to you about today is turkey tail. And when you think of turkey tail, think immune support. It has 2 unique beta-glucans that set it apart. They have the ability to regenerate white blood cells, which are necessary to fight off infection. They also stimulate the activity and creation of T cells, macrophages, and the natural killer cells, things that we heard a lot about during the COVID pandemic. These cells enable the immune system to ward off and destroy pathogens. Now, as with anything, please, you're going to need to do some research, especially when it comes to things like dosing, especially if you're trying to reverse a particular condition. So the best thing is to work with a healthcare coach or some sort of professional that is educated in how to use and incorporate mushrooms into your routine. Also, when looking for supplements, you will find that there is some controversy among manufacturers as to whether it's best to use the fruiting body or the mycelium, which is the part that's under the ground, or both. For general good health, stress management, immune support, blood sugar stabilization, you are probably best off if you stick with the major well-known brands like Om, Four Sigmatic, Sun Potion, Dragon Herbs, which are the 2 that are preferred by my health coach, and Host Defense. And you can find all of these brands at iHerb. That's where I get all of my medicinal mushrooms. And also, I encourage you to work with a health coach or a medical professional to determine exactly what dose and how much is going to be right for you. For brands that I personally have used, Host Defense, that was probably the first brand that I started with. I use and love the Sun Potion Reishi from International Foods, iHerb. And recently, I received this from Numi. This is their chaga elixir, and this is supposed to do really good things for your skin. As I said, I think I talked about this in my favorites, and I said that if over the next couple of months you see me getting younger right before your eyes, it's probably this. This comes in, this is in a liquid actually, like so, and you just put a dropperful under your tongue, 1 or 2 dropperfuls under your tongue. Hold it for about 30 seconds, which allows for a quick uptake of the compounds in the chaga, and then swallow it. And it tastes delicious too. So I did want to mention those. But because of the rich amount of proteins, carbohydrates, essential minerals, and fiber, I encourage you to consider wild-grown mushrooms just as a simple part of your everyday diet, because they are good food for every body. So that's going to wrap it up for me today. If you found this information interesting or helpful, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you've tried mushrooms, please let me know your experience with them. I think that they can be a game changer for a lot of people. But the one thing that I will say is that you won't see like an immediate result, like immediate change or anything like that. They actually work slowly over time because they are almost re-educating the body on how it should behave, react, perform. So yeah, let's wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video and thought it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it and really found this information interesting or helpful, then consider sharing it on your social media with your friends, and that way we can spread the word about what we're doing over here, because we really are, concentrating on how to age gracefully, healthily, is that a word? And naturally. All right, everyone, I thank you so much for your thumbs up. I thank you if you subscribed. If you want to see more from me, then please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss a thing here at Free Range Diva. And really, until I see you again, I'm going to wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take good care of yourself. Eat some mushrooms. They're delicious. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.